Trump's bold $2 gas promise. Why it's crashing into a brutal reality check in 2026. Listen up, everybody. We're kicking off 2026, and President Trump is still touting his big campaign promise from back in 2024, getting gas prices down to $2 a gallon or less nationwide. He said it over and over. Drill, baby, drill. Unleash American energy, and we'd see pumps hitting $2 pretty soon, calling it bigger than any tax cut. Sounds amazing, right? Relief for every driver filling up for work, family trips, or just getting groceries. But here we are, January 3rd, 2026, and the national average is sitting around $2.83 a gallon according to AAA data from the end of 2025, trending maybe a bit lower but nowhere near $2. Some spots in states like Oklahoma or Texas dip below $2.50, even under $2 at a few stations, but nationally, no way. This promise is facing a massive reality check, and it's time we call it out straight. It's not happening, and there's good reason why. Let's get real about what Trump promised. During the campaign and even into his second term, he hammered that his energy dominance agenda would flood the market with American oil, crush prices at the pump, and make life affordable again. He took credit for drops last year, saying his policies rolled back regulations and boosted production. Fair enough, U.S. oil output hit records in 2025, around 13.6 million barrels a day. Deregulation happened, permits flew faster, and the administration pushed hard against green restrictions from the Biden era. Gas did fall from highs over $5 under Biden to under $3 nationally by late 2025. That's progress, no doubt. Families saved hundreds compared to peak pain. But $2, that's a whole different ballgame. Experts called it unrealistic from day one, and now in 2026 we're seeing why. The national average hasn't cracked $2 since the pandemic lows in 2020, when demand tanked because nobody was driving. So why isn't it dropping to $2 like promised? First off, global forces run the show more than any president's policies. Crude oil prices plunged 25% last year, mostly because OPEC Plus ramped up production big time, flooding the market. That's not Trump magic, that's Saudi Arabia and others deciding to grab market share amid weak demand. U.S. production grew modestly, but tariffs Trump slapped on imports jacked up costs for steel and equipment, making drilling more expensive and slowing some projects. Oil companies laid off workers and pulled rigs despite the drill baby drill chants because low prices hurt profits. They won't flood the market if it bankrupts them. Add in state taxes, refinery costs, distribution. California still over $4, and you see why a national $2 average is fantasy. Inflation since the last time we saw sub-2 gas means costs are higher across the board. Even with record U.S. output, we're not isolated. World supply and demand dictate the price. Think about your life. You're pulling up to the pump, expecting that promised $2 sign because the president said so. Instead, it's $2.80, $3, maybe lower in red states, but still stinging. That extra 50 cents a gallon adds up hundreds a year for commuters, truckers, families on tight budgets. Trump claimed credit for the drop to under $3, but experts say his policies had modest impact at best. The big driver, overseas supply. And now forecasts for 2026 show prices stabilizing or even rising a bit with growing demand from AI data centers and exports. LNG exports are booming under loosened rules, but that pulls supply away domestically, pushing natural gas and linked energy costs higher. Electricity bills are already climbing faster than inflation in many places. The promise was energy costs slashed in half overall, but we're not seeing it. Gas relief is partial, not the revolution sold. I'm not here to bash blindly. Trump flipped bad Biden policies, boosted fossil fuels, kept some plants open to avoid blackouts. That's bold, and it helped stabilize things. But overpromising $2 gas set folks up for disappointment. When leaders say pretty soon and it doesn't happen, trust erodes. We need honesty, presidents influence but don't control global oil. Real affordability comes from steady production without wild swings, not hype. If tariffs spike costs or trade wars flare, prices could jump right back. We've seen drops thanks to market glut, not just policy, but hitting too nationwide. Experts say next to impossible without a recession, crashing demand again, and nobody wants that. People are hurting. Groceries still high, rents up, bills biting. Gas under 3 is better than 5, sure, but when you promise 2 and deliver 280, that's a gap. Families budgeted expecting big savings that aren't fully there. Rural drivers, long commutes, it hits hardest. We deserve leaders who underpromise and overdeliver, not the reverse. Trump's energy push is strong in parts, but this $2 pledge, it stalled hard. Reality checked it. Time to adjust expectations and focus on sustainable wins, more domestic energy without strings that raise costs elsewhere, demand better. Push for policies that truly lower burdens, long-term efficient production, smart infrastructure, no games. Because empty promises at the pump leave tanks half full and wallets lighter. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you. Follow so we can stay connected. Your support matters more than you know, and I appreciate every moment you give to listen. Your support is important to me, and it helps me a lot. It keeps me active, bringing you important information with your support and comments, likes, and shares. Feel free to like, support, and subscribe. I will always provide content for you. I appreciate every support you give. Crowning Thoughts, True Speaker, copyright 2025 by Santiago DC Maria, licensed under Creative Commons Attribution. I love you all and I appreciate each of you. Stay blessed. Thank you for listening. Love always. Santiago DC Maria.